Hey gorgeous, it is Monday again and I, as always, wanted to check in with you and do things a little bit differently today, I have to be honest, because every time I connect with you guys, I obviously put some thought into what seems really relevant to professional hair and makeup artists, and also what resonates with me. So I don't really plan what I'm going to really chat with you guys about when I go live, not too much anyway, because I find that whilst I know that there are certain things that I might want to share from time to time, I very much like to show up in the moment and talk to you about something that really resonates with me and seems really honest and seems really apparent in my everyday life at the moment. And I was just taking some time because, as you have probably figured by now, I'm typically coming to you on Mondays and then usually around Thursday. But I just wanted to put some thought into, how I wanted to connect with you guys today. And quite honestly, I just wanted to take a moment and, rather than chat to you about something that doesn't necessarily feel like it resonates with me today, I really wanted to give you guys the opportunity to create some conversation as well, and for me to really grasp and understand from you, what are you needing right now, and to kind of like take it a step back for a moment. The reason that I show up in this space, because I don't know if many of you actually know my story, but basically I am a professional makeup artist of 15 years now, maybe 16, which is really scary. That might seem like ages because obviously I'm not mature yet. But this is what I've always done. So from a young age, I literally finished study and I went straight into being a professional makeup artist, which is why I have been able to do what I love for such a long time now. For me, I didn't necessarily know that I wanted to be a makeup artist really early on, but the thing that really changed for me was that I was employed up until about 11 years ago, and the reason I became self-employed was because at a very young age, 21, I became pregnant with my first daughter, which obviously at the time was a complete shock to the system and very, very unexpected. And being in that situation actually really, what did it do? It definitely sparked within me the courage to start living life outside of fear. So that was a really big milestone for me, because I recognised in that moment that I didn't want to go back to employed work. I wanted to become a mum and have the freedom to run my own business, and that was something that I'd recognised that I'd already wanted. But actually being in the situation of becoming a mum and stepping away from my employed job, to do that was actually what really sparked the moment in me to say now is a really good time for me to go freelance. And I actually know that there are some of you gorgeous women in this group that have had a really similar experience. Now, for me, whilst I didn't suffer with postnatal depression, I very much went through a phase of severe anxiety, and it's been something that had actually affected me since I was a kid. And then didn't affect me for a really long time. And becoming a mum again, I personally found that my world became so small that I just became more anxious, especially in social situations and situations where I was in an environment, a space that wasn't familiar to me. And that really, really affected my confidence and every area of my life, to the point where I lost friendships over it because my friends didn't understand what was going on with me, and if I cancelled plans with them, they'd get pissed off. And it was literally the only way I could cope was to keep myself almost hibernated with my little girl. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved being a mum. I've got a very close relationship with both of my daughters because I have a second now. And it was a really special time for us and our bond, but obviously it wasn't healthy for me personally, and not putting myself out there. So I was actually trying to grow a business through experiencing all of this anxiety, and I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I was doing things to a certain point, but I also recognised that there was still so much fear in me even years after having my daughter. And it got to a point where my anxiety was actually so intense, it was affecting me so much on a day-to-day basis, You know, I couldn't go to the supermarket without having a meltdown. I couldn't get on a train without having a meltdown. It was really, really debilitating my life. And, you know, having the passion for wanting to be a professional makeup artist with a thriving business was totally in conflict with the fear that I was experiencing on a daily basis. And it was a really, really challenging period in my life. Now, for me, it got to a point where I literally, I've kind of had other moments like this in my life, where I can just get to a moment of decision where I know that something, like, I need to create massive change in my life. And this was a really significant moment for me. And I literally got to the point where the anxiety was so intense and it was affecting me so much that I was actually starting to get pissed off with myself, because there are a few members of my family, in fact the majority of my family are also therapists of all different kinds. So I recognised that it was very much my state of mind that was, and my own limitation that was actually causing all of the limitation I was creating in my life. Like, it all started from within me, and I had the ability to completely change the story and create something new and to start playing a new record, as they say. So I got to a point where I literally woke up one morning and I was like, I have had enough of my own bullshit. I choose for this not to be my life anymore. I keep living in fear. I keep making decisions out of fear. And I don't know if you have experienced this, but I know, even without the anxiety, when you are operating from a place of fear or lack, you make shit decisions. Even if you think you're making good decisions at the time, they're not necessarily the decisions that are going to empower you, because it's not, you know, making decisions from a place of fear and feeling scared is not an it's the opposite of feeling empowered. So I knew that I wanted to feel empowered, that I wanted to take control of my life, my business, my relationships, my social life, like all of these aspects, and I knew that it started and ended with myself. So I went through a really intense period of working on myself, developing my mindset, working on old stories, limiting beliefs that were keeping me stuck, that were allowing me to keep feeling that fear every single day. And I leapt out of that. It was the toughest work that I've ever had to do in my life. I did it for myself, I did it for my daughter, I did it for my business, you know, so many reasons. And it was the absolute making of me. It was extremely challenging. There were highs and lows, but it's really, you know, getting to that point where I was sick of my own bullshit and I was absolutely committed to creating change despite the struggle, that really allowed me to live the life that I live today. And to be honest, the reason I got to that point was because I recognised, and again, like, I would love to know if this resonates with you, if you've had this moment, but for me, I recognised that actually the fear of continuing living my life looking, you know, the same as it was in that moment for the rest of my life, continuing to live that way with that fear for the rest of my life, was actually more terrifying to me than overcoming the fear and creating something completely new and completely wonderful for myself. So if you are feeling like you are struggling at the moment on a financial level, on an emotional level, on a mindset level, you know, whatever aspect it might be, I am certain that that hopefully you will get to a point where you recognise that you have the choice to create a different story for yourself and to actually, you know, work through the limitations that you've created, because a lot of the time those limitations have come from ideas and beliefs that we adopted as children. So it's really about starting to reframe your mind and to stop making decisions from a place of fear, stop making decisions from a place of feeling really scared, and do something that feels scary but also really, really empowering, and that is making the decision to do something differently. And this is exactly why I am a business mentor to professional hair and makeup artists now, because not only did I work through all of my stuff for a long time, and actually still continue to do so, because I feel like it's a never-ending process. There's always developments and progress and growth that we can make within ourselves. But it wasn't until I actually started to really make leaps and consciously make the effort to create a new story for myself, and invested in, you know, working with amazing coaches and mentors that were doing the work that I wanted to do, that were leading by example, that were thriving in their businesses, that were empowered women, that things really, really changed for me in my business as well. And the reason I show up as a business mentor to hair and makeup pros is because I want you to feel empowered, and I want you to know that there is, you know, massive growth ahead of you if you choose to go down that route, and that you can feel absolutely supported. Because I'll be really honest, the coaches and mentors that I've worked with have not been professional hair or makeup artists. They've had nothing to do with the beauty industry, because I really recognised that there was actually no one that was successful as a professional hairstylist or makeup artist that was prepared to help me. Because I feel like, or my experience, my personal experience of the industry has been that, you know, if you give too much away to other beauty professionals, then they become competition. It could destroy your business. And I absolutely do not operate from that place, because it's lack mentality at the end of the day. And, you know, it's seeing everyone as competition, and I don't think that is healthy. I think it's so important to be in competition with yourself and to try and improve yourself ongoingly, regardless of what's going on over there, or what she's doing or what he's doing. It's about you really showing up and being the best that you can be, and getting the support that you need in order to do that. And the reason I show up in this space, you know, whether you choose to work with me or not as your mentor, I want to be that reminder that what you want is completely possible for you. Even if you have a dream so big it seems completely unreal, it is completely obtainable to you. But obviously what you need to be doing is to restructuring your mindset and putting yourself in a position of empowerment, of abundance, of worthiness, because it's all of those key pieces that will allow you to get the results that you want. Because the mindset coupled with taking action is really what allows you to leap forward. And it can be really hard to get the traction that you need, and sometimes get the motivation that you know that you need in order to do the work. Which is why it's important to have coaches and mentors, and why I continue to invest myself, is because having the accountability of someone that is going to be on your tail and also supporting you through the journey actually allows you to be way more productive than if you're trying to do it on your own. And obviously if you don't know what you need to be doing to get the results that you want, then that's another reason to really focus on getting some support. So I really wanted to share with you, you know, a taster of my journey and why I show up in this space, but also to hand the reins to you. You know, I feel like I have so much to share with you guys with regards to developing your mindset and putting strategies in place for growing your beauty business and all of the pieces in between. But I also recognise that a lot of you in this space I don't know personally. And so if you have a burning question, if you know that there's a limitation in your business, whether it be through how you're doing things in a physical sense or how you are doing things in an online presence, then I would really, really love to hear from you. So reply to me and let me know, you know, how you need to be supported right now. And if you have any questions about, you know, how to do something, how to, you know, get the results that you want in your business, how to develop yourself, anything that's really going to support you in getting more of what it is that you want in your life and your business, then leave a comment or email me, reach out in some way, DM me, and let me know like how I can really support you, because as I said, I have so much to share with you guys, and obviously will continue to do so. But I also wanted to give you the opportunity to reach out and let me know, you know, if there is a particular way that I can support you, and if you have any burning questions right now that you know are going to allow you to feel supported and clearer about where you need to be going and what direction you need to be going in order to become the thriving, successful beauty professional that I know that you really, really want to be. So I hope that you've enjoyed what I've shared with you and a little bit about my story today. If any of it resonated with you, again, I would really appreciate you letting me know. There are so many of you in this private Facebook group, and only a small percentage of you, I know that many of you watch these lives, and I hear sometimes through other people that you've enjoyed something, but I don't actually see as much from you guys as I would love to. So please leave a comment or like what I've shared with you, because I feel like I show up so much for you guys, and you know, without you actually letting me know that you've listened or appreciated it, or actually something that I've shared has really resonated with you, then it, you know, I'm just projecting myself and not knowing really who's out there, and if you are watching this and if you are, you know, feeling connected to the message that I'm sharing with you. But I want to be the reminder that what you want is absolutely obtainable to you, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. So I hope you have an amazing week. I look forward to your questions, and also I'll be really real with you. If you are in this space and none of this resonates with you, then I really welcome you to not be in this space anymore. And that seems harsh, and it's absolutely said with love, because different people resonate with different people, and I really want to be in service to the women. In fact, you're not all women, but I want to be in service to the beauty professionals that this really resonates with, that wants the support, and actually the type of person that really wants to experience growth in their future and their business. If that resonates with you, then you're absolutely in the right space, and I absolutely look forward to continuing this journey alongside you and receiving your questions. Have an amazing week. I'm Brooke Price, and I'll catch you soon. Bye, gorgeous.